So let's reset, recharge, and reconnect right here on Cup of Cocoa and Chat. I'm Princess, host of Cup of Cocoa and Chat. I'm Princess, host of Cup of Cocoa and Chat. So let's reset those records, cocoa. So let's reset, recharge, and reconnect right here on Cup of Cocoa and Chat.
Theme: Mindful Monday, episode number 23, The Cost of the Mask, Performing Online and Off. Release date: Monday, September 15th, 2025. Our weekly theme: Mask Off, Real Life versus Performance. We all wear masks. Sometimes it's filters and likes online. Sometimes it's putting on a brave face at work, with family, or in church. Authentic living means being true to yourself in any space. Our motivation focus today is to remind us that authenticity isn't weakness, it's strength. When you stop striving to please and start being yourself, you gain peace, confidence, and healthier conditions. Okay? So let's get right into it. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever you're tuning in. I am so glad you press play. Welcome to Cup of Cocoa and Chat, the podcast where we savor the moment, think deeply, and listen to real conversations that stir the heart. We share, and we start the week with intention, warmth, and truth. So I am your host, Princess, and today is another Mindful Monday. Our mindfulness angle is about dropping the mask we wear, not just the filters and the highlight reels on social media, but also that brave smile, the polite yeses, and the strong fronts we put on in everyday life. Our topic today is mask off, real life versus performance. And together we will explore what it costs to perform and what peace we find when we dare to show up real. So let's start with the social media mask. Social media is a stage. And just like in a theater, most of us don't walk out there without a mask. We chase the likes, we adjust the filters, and sometimes we even measure our worth by how many hearts or thumbs up we get. Let's talk about this thing we do online. You know what I mean? The chase for the likes. How many of you have ever posted something and then found yourself refreshing, checking the phone every 5 minutes? Come on now, be honest. because I've done it too. It starts with a picture you really like, or maybe your outfit is popping that day, or you finally got that meal to look right on that plate, right? The aesthetic of it all, right? And you post it. You feel good. But then here comes that little whisper. Did anybody like it yet? Did anybody comment? Right? And then we go into curator mode. Curator mode. You know what I mean? Taking 50 pictures to post one, cropping, adding filters, even deleting a post because it didn't match the grid, right? Come on, somebody. It's like we're less in the moment and more in the performance. And be real. Let's be real about this, right? Sometimes we post a lot, not because we're excited, but because we're looking for something. What, you ask? Validation, a little attention, a little, hey, I see you. But the truth is, even when the likes come, they don't really fill that deeper need. Now, do they? Right? Think about that. Now, here's the thing, the algorithm is built to reward the performance. It pushes the shiny, the dramatic, the loud stuff, not necessarily the real stuff. And before we know it, we're out here playing a game where the rules are perform or you won't be seen. And that's exhausting. And the cost. What about the cost of it? Whoo, child. Let's name it. Anxiety from checking our phones all day. Burnout because we feel like we always have to show up bigger and better. Comparison. Looking at somebody's highlight reel and feeling like our behind the scenes is trash. And then the worst one for me, missing the real connection. Because if you're busy performing the moment, are you really living in it? Are you really living in it? So let me give you a real life example. Think about Lizzo. She was one of the most confident, talented artists out there, right? But even she has shared how exhausting it can be to perform, not just on stage, but online. She's talked about the pressure of constantly having to show up, like to look perfect, right? And to keep people entertained. At one point, Lizzo even stepped away from social media because the pressure and the negativity were stealing her joy. And if someone with millions of fans, with Grammys, and with all the applause in the world can admit that performance costs her peace, that tells us something, right? And I felt that on a smaller scale myself. I remember a time I was posting and pushing so hard, trying to keep the energy up, smiling through the stress, and afterward, still feeling empty, tired, disconnected. It made me realize that performing for approval, whether you are a superstar like Lizzo or just scrolling at home, it drains you the same exact way. So let me ask you this. Have you ever caught yourself deleting a post because it didn't get enough likes? Or maybe scrolling and comparing your real life to someone else's filtered one? If that's you, you're not alone. We've all worn that social media mask at some point. The funny thing is, the performance doesn't stop when we put the phone down. We log out of Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or YouTube, but we don't log out of the mask we wear in real life. Social media might be one stage, but life itself, oh boy, that's another performance altogether. So let's talk about the mask we wear when no one's scrolling, no one's double tapping, the real life performance. How many times in just the past week have you said, I am fine? I'm fine. I'm fine. When you weren't. When you really weren't. I'm talking about those moments when someone asks, how are you doing? And the truth is, you're stressed, you're hurting, you're overwhelmed, a host of a lot of other things, maybe. But what comes out? I'm fine. I'm fine. That's a mask. So you got that social media mask and you got the real life mask that some of us wear. Maybe all of us at some point in time. If it's not the social media, it's the real life. Or maybe it's at work. How about wearing that mask at work? What about that? You're sitting at your desk. You got the smile on, got the polite tone going, but inside, ooh, child, you're thinking about the bills, the family, your health, your spouse's health, your boyfriend's health, the children's health, or just plain burnt out. But the but the performance continues. You see how that works? Because who wants to be the one to bring the mood down, right? And let's not forget about church, the church feast. Come on now. Some of us know how to walk into that sanctuary with the biggest smile, the perfect outfit, the praise the Lord voice, all while our heart is heavy. Because you're wearing that mask for the church folks. Because you know who know what's going on, right? Not only you, but the God that you serve, right? That mask is polished, but it's heavy too, right? And that's just the church mask. So you got the real life mask going on. You got the church mask going on. You got the work mask going on. And you got a social media mask going on. The cost of all that pretending, loneliness, because if no one sees the real you, who are they really connecting to? Miss opportunities for support because if you don't tell anybody you're struggling, how can they show up for you? And sometimes just plain exhaustion. You leave a day of pretending and you collapse on your bed, on the sofa, in the recliner. Not from work, but from the performance that you put on all day long. I'll be honest, I used to wear that I'm fine mask all the time. It was automatic for me, right? Someone would ask me how was I doing, and before I could even think about it, or before I thought about it, I would say, "Oh, I'm good. I'm fine. What about you?" But inside, I wasn't always fine. And I realized after a while, it was costing me real connection. People can't support what they don't know about. They can't comfort what you won't share. So here's another question. Let me ask you this. Think about your last week. How many times did you give that automatic, I'm fine, when the truth was something deeper? Just sit with that for a moment. Reflect on that. This, just this past week, right? Because the day is only Monday. So just this past week, did you use that automatic, I'm fine, when you really weren't fine? You see, whether it's online with filters and the likes or offline with the I'm fine face, it's really the same thing. A mask is a mask. And here's the truth: performance is performance. It doesn't matter if the audience is followers on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, or co-workers in the break room, your church family. It still drains you the same way. The stage might change, but the cost stays the same. So let's tie this all together. When we live in performance mode, when we live in performance mode, we're giving energy to keep up an image. And that image, it might look polished. It may even get applause, but it's heavy to carry. It's heavy to carry. The peace comes when we dare to choose authenticity. When we say, you know what? I don't have to perform today. I don't have I don't have to look perfect, sound perfect, or even pretend I'm okay when I'm not. And I love how scripture reminds us of this. 1 Samuel chapter 16 verse 7 says, man looks at the outward appearance, but Lord looks at the heart. Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. Isn't that so powerful? While people are clapping for the mask, God is looking past it. He's not interested in the performance. He's interested in the heart. That's why I say, and you've heard me in other episodes talk about peace over performance. Peace over performance. Because performing might win you approval for a moment, but authenticity gives you peace for a lifetime. So here's the reflection I want to give you, to ponder on, to sit with. What would it look like if you permitted yourself to be real in just one area this week? Maybe it's being honest with a friend. Maybe it's posting something unfiltered. Maybe it's telling the truth when someone asks how you're doing. Just imagine the peace you could feel by letting that one mask drop. Just think about that. Now listen, I don't just want us to talk about mask and walk away from this conversation just nodding our head like, yeah, yeah, like that resonated with me. We need to put some action behind this because awareness is the first step, but freedom comes when we practice living differently. So let's talk about some simple ways we can start dropping those masks one by one. Here are some small, doable steps you can try this week. Nothing heavy, nothing overwhelming, just little shifts that can bring big peace. Number one, choose one safe place to drop the mask. Maybe it's with a trusted friend. Maybe it's in your journal when you're writing in your journal. Maybe it's when you're saying your prayer in the morning, or the prayer before you go to bed, or the prayer before you eat, or the prayer just anytime during the day. You don't have to bare your soul to everybody, but you need at least one place where you can be fully you. Okay? Number two, post or share something online that feels authentic, not curated. Maybe it's a no makeup selfie. Maybe it's a real thought you had today. Maybe it's just a picture of your messy desk at work. Show the human side, and you'll be surprised how many people connect with it. Number three, practice answering honestly. Instead of the automatic I am fine, try something like today's been a little heavy, but I'm getting through. Today's been a little heavy, but I'm getting through. You don't have to pour it all out, but that little bit of honesty creates space for real connection. Number four, use a grounding practice. When you feel performance pressure creeping in, maybe that's taking a few deep breaths. Maybe it's saying an affirmation like, I am enough just as I am. I am enough just as I am. Or maybe it's stepping outside for fresh air. Anything that reminds you you don't have to perform to be worthy. And here's where I want to invite you in. Engagement time. This is engagement time. I want to invite you in. I would love for you to DM me or drop a comment. What's one mask you're ready to let go of? It could be big, it could be small, but naming it is the first step to freeing yourself from it. And I've talked about naming it in other episodes, naming it and releasing it. So naming it is the first step to freeing yourself from it. Now this is our sip on this segment. Okay? Here's our sip on this affirmation. Go ahead and repeat after me, whether you whisper it, say it strong, or think it to yourself. I am enough without performance. I am enough without performance. Live it, breathe it, eat it. Take that mask off. Let that mask drop. I am enough without performance. Take a deep breath. Let that settle in. Carry it with you through today. And remember, you don't have to wear a mask to be worthy of love, peace, and joy. So as we close today's episode, I want to leave you with this. And Mercedes just doesn't want me to be great today, right? She's just over in the other room just balking. As we close today's episode, I want to leave you with this. Authenticity isn't just about being seen. It's about being free. Free from the pressure to perform. Free from the weight of perfection. And free to be the person God created you to be. This week, I invite you to choose one place where you can take off your mask. Maybe it's online. Perhaps it's at work. It could be at church. Or maybe it's in your own home. Wherever it is, honor the beauty of your truth. Okay? Until next time, may you walk in peace, living truth, and sip on the sweetness of authenticity. I'm Princess, and this has been Cup of Cocoa and Chat, the podcast. I'll be back next Monday, September 22nd, with Season 1, Episode 24 of Cup of Cocoa and Chat, the podcast. And just a quick reminder, we're wrapping up Season 1 soon. We've got 2 more episodes. We have Episode 24 next week, and then the following week, Episode 25. So we got 2 more episodes before I take a short pause and come back strong with Season 2. So stay with me because the best is yet to come. Mark your calendar. Pour your favorite drink if you're at home. If you're in your car, turn it up. If you're on that walk, take that step and meet me right here for more good vibes, meaningful conversations, and purpose-filled moments. Until next time, take care of yourself, stay encouraged, and as always, peace, blessings. I love you, and I mean it. Bye for now.